Today's story begins with a bubbly girl named Harim who had one thing that made her unique. If she liked a handsome guy, she would fearlessly confess her feelings right away, and because of this habit, her love life had been quite interesting since childhood. One day she develops a crush on a boy in her class. Mustering up the courage, she tells him what is in her heart. Surprisingly, the boy also smiles and says that he likes Harim too. Hearing this, tears of joy well up in Harim's eyes. She feels that her first love has finally come true. But friends, sometimes fate shows happiness only to snatch it away the very next moment. The next day, she finds out that the boy has transferred schools and left forever. Harim's first love ends just as it begins. Time passes and Harim starts growing up. But another problem arises in her life. In her childhood, her hair used to be perfectly straight. But gradually, it becomes extremely curly. The strangest thing was that her twin sister Hyan still had perfectly straight hair. For this reason, Harim always thought that perhaps she inherited these genes from her father. Few years later, she falls in love with a boy in her neighborhood. This time, she even prepares a lovely gift for him and plans a confession. But the day she gathers the courage to speak her heart, that same day the boy comes to her house, But he doesn't come to meet Harim. He asks for her twin sister Hyan. Seeing this, Harim's heart breaks once again. That day, she promises herself that she will never be the first to confess to a boy again. But friends, love doesn't come with a promise. One day, while walking on the beach, she meets a very handsome boy. His name was Hyan. Standing amidst the ocean waves, Hyan looked no less than a movie hero. Harim falls for him at first sight. The next day at school, all the students are excited to see a new transfer student, and that new student is none other than Hyan. Every girl in school is looking at him. But then Hyan waves at Harim in front of everyone. The whole class is in shock. Blushing, Harim explains that she had met Hyan at the beach yesterday. While checking the mock test results in class, Harim discovers that Hyan is among the top 100 students. Because of this, he has gained entry into the school's special evening self-study room. A rumor was very famous in the school. People said that if someone confesses their crush in that room, their chances of success increase significantly. Hearing this, Harim starts dreaming too. But her own marks were so low that going into that room was impossible for her. During lunch break, Harim and her friends go to the basketball court to see Hyan. There is already a crowd of girls gathered around him. Harim thinks that she will have to do something different. She buys a cold drink from the canteen. She writes her name on it and requests the canteen uncle to give it to Hyan. But the uncle laughs and says, "Child, you are not the first one today. Who knows how many girls have sent drinks for him all day long." Hearing this, all of Harim's excitement cools down. Even after school, she doesn't go straight home. She reaches the beach again. She hopes that perhaps she might meet Hyan again. But instead of Hyan, another boy arrives there. He picks up Harim's name tag that had fallen on the ground. Meanwhile, Harim's shirt blows away in the wind and falls into the water. The boy, without thinking, gets into the water to catch it. But he didn't even know how to swim. In just a few moments, he starts drowning. Seeing this, Harim jumps into the sea fearlessly and barely manages to pull that boy out. He lies there unconscious. Harim immediately leans in to perform CPR. But just as her lips reach near the boy, he suddenly opens his eyes. Harim gets so embarrassed that she starts scolding him in anger. But deep down, she was happy about only one thing, that the boy's life was saved. But friends, Harim had no idea that this unknown boy was now going to become the most important part of her life. And this is where the story takes a massive turn. The very next day, Harim reaches school and her eyes remain wide open in surprise. The same boy she had saved in the sea yesterday was standing there today as a new transfer student in her class. His name was Minho. He had a cast on his leg, and the teacher mentions that Minho is a bit older than the other students, and he had already taken the university entrance exam before. But after failing, he has returned to school. Harim smiles and welcomes him, but Minho just gives a slight nod. There was neither a smile nor any excitement on his face. A while later, Harim notices that Minho is struggling to walk due to his cast. She wants to help him, but Minho refuses. Meanwhile, the supervisor scolds another student and sends him to help Minho. Shortly after, the teacher scolds Harim for not wearing her name tag. She lies, saying that she might have lost it somewhere. But in reality, her name tag was still with Minho. During lunch break, Harim and her friends bring food for Minho. When some students ask him if Harim really saved his life, Minho stays silent. But Harim herself says while laughing, "Yes, I saved his life. Now he will do whatever I say. He will carry my bag, hold my umbrella, and treat us all to ice cream." Everyone starts laughing loudly, and poor Minho quietly keeps listening to everything. Later, Harim's friends make a new name tag for her. On the other side, Minho is just about to return the real name tag. Suddenly, he hears someone's comment. "It's possible that whoever kept your name tag might like you." Hearing this, Minho says nothing and puts the name tag back in his pocket. Perhaps now he didn't want to return it so easily. But at that time, there was only one name in Harim's heart. Han. She clearly tells her friend that "I only like Han. There is no place for anyone else in my heart." As soon as she says this, a basketball suddenly comes flying fast towards her. But before it hits her, Han kicks it away. He immediately comes to Harim and asks, "Are you okay?" Harim lowers her head in shyness. while her friends start teasing her. It is for sure. He intentionally created an opportunity to talk to you. But Minho, standing in the back, does not agree with this at all. After returning to class, Harim finds out that a girl whose hair was curly like hers is now completely straight. Seeing this, Harim immediately goes to meet her. She finds out that she got her hair straightened at Jangmi's salon, but it cost 200,000 won. Hearing this amount, Harim is stunned. Still, she and her friend reach the salon. Seeing her hair, the salon owner says, "Don't worry, your hair can also be perfectly straight." Hearing this, Harim's hope is rekindled. She goes home and takes out all her savings. But the money is not enough for the treatment. Feeling sad, she stands outside the salon the next day. Suddenly, she hears Minho's voice from inside. "Mom." Hearing this, Harim realizes the salon owner is Minho's mother, and that's when a new plan enters her mind. From the next day, she starts acting very sweetly toward Minho. After school, she intentionally meets him outside the salon and talks her way inside. She tells Minho's mother, "I am Minho's very good friend, and I saved his life at the beach he was in. I always take care of him at school too." Hearing her words, Minho's mother smiles. When Harim gently brings up hair straightening, she says, "As soon as Minho's cast comes off, I will straighten your hair too." Hearing this, there is no limit to Harim's happiness. After that day, she really starts taking care of Minho everywhere. Taking him to class, dropping him home after school, and helping his mother distribute salon flyers. Slowly, the two start spending a lot of time together. One day, a heavy rain begins. Running, they both reach Harim's father's warehouse. Harim gives Minho her father's clothes to wear. Seeing a shelf full of comics in the warehouse, she asks him, "Do you read comics?" Minho smiles and refuses. He says that he has never read comics before. Hearing this, Harim gives him her favorite comics and also tells him the warehouse password. Meanwhile, Harim and her friends start making paper beads to confess to Hyan. When they find out that their rival is only making 1,000 beads, Harim says, "We will make 10,000. Hearing this, Minho quietly starts to leave. But Harim grabs his hand and says, "You will help too," and poor Minho is forced to sit with them and make paper beads. But friends, the smile on Minho's face was slowly fading away, because the girl he had started to love was dreaming of someone else once. And believe me, after what is about to happen next, the story will change completely. Days begin to pass and the jar of paper beads slowly starts to fill up. But only one thought was still running through Harim's mind: how to confess to Hyan. Because of this, she requests the student to give her his seat in the evening self-study room, as she believed that if the confession happened there, the chances of it being successful would increase. But that student refuses point blank. Harim keeps requesting repeatedly, which annoys him, and he speaks up in anger. "Do you really think Hyan will like you? Don't waste your time." This hits Harim straight in the heart. Tears well up in her eyes and she quietly walks away from there. In the evening, she reaches Minho's house while crying. She leaves the jar of paper beads with him and turns back without saying anything. But when she reaches the warehouse at night, she sees Minho reading comics there. Both of them sit in silence for a while. Then Harim says softly, "I will only confess to Hyan once my hair is straightened. I feel only then will he like me." Minho says nothing. He takes another jar out of his bag. Seeing this, Harim is left stunned. For the past many days, Minho had been quietly making paper beads for her too. When Minho asks what these beads mean, then Harim smiles and says, "These are not just my feelings. They also hold all our hard work and memories. Whether the confession is successful or not, I will always cherish them." Minho just keeps looking at her. It was clearly visible in his eyes how much he loved Harim. The next day, Harim reaches Minho's house to take him to school. This time, the cast had been removed from his leg. Minho's mother also reminds her of her promise. "Now I will straighten your hair." But Harim says she will get the treatment done a day before the confession. The results of the new mock test are announced at school, and the biggest surprise was that Minho had made it among the top rankers. Harim couldn't understand when Minho had been working so hard. In reality, Minho had done all this just so he could get a seat in the evening self-study room, and he could give his seat to Harim. When Minho offers her his seat, hope returns to Harim's eyes. But at that very moment, another piece of news shocks everyone. Hyan had failed the exam. It means she won't be able to enter the self-study room anymore. The place where Harim had been dreaming of confessing for so long. It shatters in a single moment. Meanwhile, a neighbor visits Harim's house and talks about the family from the Jangmi salon. She learns that Minho's father is a prominent professor, but he is a very angry and jealous person. He used to treat Minho and his mother very badly. Because of this, Minho went into depression. He dropped out of school and missed his entrance exams too. Hearing this truth, Harim understands Minho's pain for the first time. That evening, as she passes by the warehouse, she sees her father and Minho sitting together eating noodles. Her father gives Minho a disposable camera and says, "Use it whenever you want." Seeing this makes Harim feel very happy. The next day, a school picnic is announced. Harim immediately thinks this will be the perfect chance to confess. There is a handball match during gym period. Everyone chooses their partners. Forced by circumstances, Harim and Minho become a team. During the match, Minho keeps saving Harim from getting hit by the ball. But when the ball goes towards Hyan, Harim jumps in front of him without thinking and gets hurt herself. Seeing this, sadness is clearly visible on Minho's face. That night, Harim receives 2 voice messages. The first is from Hyan saying thank you, and the second is from Minho, who is just worried about her and tells her not to be stubborn. Make sure to apply some ointment. Hearing the first message brings a smile to Harim's face, and upon hearing the second, she feels a strange warmth in her heart. Perhaps without realizing it, something was beginning to change in her heart for Minho too. A few days later, Harim goes to the salon. There, Minho's mother asks her to wash Minho's hair. Both of them feel quite awkward. In the meantime, Minho accidentally uses conditioner instead of shampoo. His mother is surprised, because Minho never made such a mistake before. Finally, the day of the picnic arrives. When Harim gets on the bus, everyone is left staring at her. Her hair had now become completely straight and silky. But sitting in the back, Minho was completely silent. He knew that today Harim was going to confess to the boy of her dreams, Hyan. At the picnic spot, Harim secretly places the jar of paper beads on Hyan's seat. As night falls, her friends decorate a lovely spot for a confession and place arrows so Hyan can reach it. A little while later, Hyan arrives there. He compliments Harim's straight hair and thanks her again for saving his life at the beach. But when he says that, only the 2 of us know about what happened at the beach that day. Harim's eyes fall upon Minho, who is walking some distance away. At that very moment, it's not Hyan but every little thing about Minho that starts running through her mind. How he stood by her side at all times without asking for anything in return. How he made paper beads for her. How he worked hard to achieve the top rank to fulfill her dreams, and how he never asked for anything back. That's when Harim realizes she was running after the wrong person. Looking at Hyan, she says, I brought you here to confess to you. But now someone else has found a place in my heart. Being with him, I never felt the need to change myself. I can just be who I am, in front of him. Saying this, she leaves from there. The next day, Minho starts avoiding her, because he thinks Harim must have confessed to Hyan. At night in the warehouse, Harim tells him the truth that she didn't confess to Hyan. She says that her focus is on studies now, and jokingly makes Minho promise to bring her a giant candy on the day of the entrance exam. Time passes. One day, Harim sees Minho talking to a curly-haired girl. She doesn't know why, but she starts feeling a sense of jealousy in her heart. When she asks Minho if he is close to that girl, Minho immediately denies it. Just hearing that brings a smile back to Harim's face. On the day of the entrance exam, Minho actually brings a giant candy as a gift. Seeing him in a bear mascot costume, Harim's joy is worth seeing. While waiting for the results, they start meeting in secret. One day at the beach, Harim asks, why did you jump into the sea that day? Minho softly explains that he was so troubled by his life that he didn't want to live, but under the water he saw Harim, and in that instant his hope to live returned. Then he returns the name tag he had kept safe from the day at the beach to Harim. He holds her hand and says, I love you. Tears well up in Harim's eyes. While returning home, she shyly gives Minho a sweet kiss. Their love story had just begun when everything suddenly changes. On Sunday, when they are about to meet for a date, Minho gets a message that his mother is admitted to the hospital. He leaves for Seoul immediately. At the hospital, he finds out that his father is taking his mother to America. A few days later, Minho leaves without telling anyone. When Harim reaches his house, she finds the salon closed with a for rent sign outside. She learns that Minho and his mother are leaving Korea. Feeling compelled, Harim lies to Minho over the phone. She says, I never loved you. We will never meet again. After saying this, she cries all night long. Even on graduation day, there is no happiness on her face. In the warehouse, she finds one of Minho's notebooks titled Love Chronicle. In that notebook, Minho had kept every photo of Harim safe. Under every photo, he had written little things about her. Seeing this, Harim breaks down. She realizes how deeply Minho loved her. Sometime later, a sad Harim is walking on the beach. Out of habit, she sends a message to Minho. I am not feeling well today. She has no expectation of getting a reply, but a message arrives immediately. You look perfectly fine to me. As she reads this, she turns around and sees Minho standing there. Harim runs and hugs him, crying, as she tells him the whole truth. She says that she never stopped loving him. Minho also takes out another jar of paper beads from his bag. He says every bead in this jar is a memory of you. They both embrace each other. Just then, their friends come out and everyone celebrates their happiness together. And with this beautiful love story reaches its happy ending. By the way, friends, if you also believe that true love is where you don't have to change yourself, then definitely like this video. And if you like watching such emotional and heart-touching movie recaps, then subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon too, We will meet again with the next amazing story.